The mirror of time. The legacy is your currency. Things I've learned from a ghost in 1956 that I was wasting my time. And now I'm running out of time, trying to outlive life. Just when I've got it figured out, how to make it shine, the hands of time have come. I'm still running, staying in the fight. Those are lyrics from one of our new songs called Wasting No More Time. Set to release in just a few weeks, I wrote these words from a place most people don't like. That quiet room in the back of your mind where you sit down with yourself and ask the only question that can actually matter to your life. What have I done? What am I here to do? Why am I even here? Every year around this time, and I make it sort of a reminder of life. It's my father's birthday. This year would have been his 89th. Now, he passed away 10 years ago, but my thoughts are always circular to the part of this year, his birthday. It passes by like another orbiting celestial being around my world, predictable and gravitational, pulling me back into the same reflection whether I want to be there or not. His influence on me and my life was significant. Although the memories of these things are only captured in a few wisps of remembrances from my brain, fleeting images that would be, a voice I can almost hear, moments that I could feel more like impressions than photographs. And yet those wisps carry more weight than anything concrete ever could. Here's what happens when you go looking for a man who lived a full life before the internet existed. If you Google my father, only one thing comes up: his minor league baseball stats from 1956. He was a pitcher for the New York Giants. In their farm system, he played both in Muskogee and St. Cloud franchises. 43 strikeouts on the season, 3-3 record, which isn't bad for a starter. That's it. The entire digital footprint of a man who raised a family, loved people, loved, failed, succeeded, all those things, and eventually left this earth the same way we all will. One obituary notice and a line and a box score from the league that most people have never even heard of. There are no pictures, there's no videos, there's no diary, there's no historical reference, not even a family tree written on the back of an envelope somewhere. It's embarrassing. The man literally does not exist in any searchable context. Not findable, not retrievable. He exists only in the minds of the people who can still recall the faintest details, both good and bad, that made up the full texture of someone's life. And those minds are aging. Those memories are finding their way to dust. And one day they'll be gone too. Now, this is not uncommon. The technology simply was not there. Most of our grandparents and their parents before them vanished from the public record, the same way that my father did. But knowing that doesn't make it sit any easier. It still bugs me. It nags at me. It's something that's deeper than nostalgia, because it really does hold a mirror up to my own face and ask me the question. I cannot dodge this reality. What will be left of you? Now, I realize this might sound a little morbid to be thinking about this, and I'm not trying to point out the obvious reality here, that when you reach a certain age, you start doing this. But there is a moment, and I think most people know exactly when it is, where you suddenly say, my time horizon is here. The sun setting is there to some degree, and the days are not infinite. The calendar is not a suggestion anymore. It's understanding that, this really is something that shifts your mindset. You start looking at the world differently. At least I do. So I keep coming back to this mirror of time. It keeps staring me at least in the quintessential elements of trying to figure it all out. What have I done? Have I done enough? Have I made things right? If the mission I feel burning inside of me is something I have honored, or is it something I haven't done yet, or something I'm putting off? So while I was busy doing everything else in life, every time I look, I see the same thing. I see a mission. I see something in front of me. It's not behind me. It's actually not finished. It's still out there waiting for me to catch up to me. Now, it's not discouraging. Let me put that there. It's a fuel. And I think that's what's important because I'm still running. I'm still willing to put up the fight. That's exactly the lyrics I have in my song. I still want that sense of true accomplishment where I can look back on the things that I've built, the things I've said, the things that I've poured into other people, and say with real conviction that I was proud of what I brought into this world. Not for vanity, not for applause, but for the people who come after me, the future family, future friends, basically anyone who might stumble upon my videos or my words or my work and pull something out of it, something useful, maybe from the wreckage of my fully loved life. Now, when I started looking inward at this mirror, really looking at this mirror of time, myself, no filter, right? Really looking at this and saying no excuses, I realize the affliction is not age. The affliction is the line of time itself, the infinite thread that runs through this moment. You arrive at this moment and you leave. There's a finite thing here. Everything in between is just a statement of life, of dreams, of worthwhile accomplishments, of ideal outcomes you were brave enough to chase. And I still am searching for that ideal situation, making it right. I keep saying making it right with myself, making it right with my work, making it right, building something that places me on a stage in my own mind where I can say I've defined and educated and contributed things I believe will help move this world forward in business, hope, in love, in every single lesson I've picked up along the way. My father left behind 43 strikeouts and a 3-3 record. That is what the world can see. But the world cannot see the man who shaped the sun, who's now writing these words right at you, trying to figure out how to leave behind something more findable, more lasting, more useful than a single line in a forgotten database. Your legacy is your currency. It's the only thing you have to spend when someone else gets to you. They get to keep it. And the question is not whether you're going to leave something, because you will. The question is whether you're going to be intentional about it or whether you're going to let the world decide for you. The way it decided for almost everyone who came before us. So what does your mirror look like? What do you see when you stand in front of it with nowhere to hide because the hands of time already have caught up to you and they're still running, and the only thing that's worth figuring out is whether you're running toward something that matters. Here's the lessons from this. I'll make this clear. Legacy isn't something you build at the end. It's something you're building right now. Whether you realize it or not, every conversation, every piece of work, every moment you choose to show up and pour yourself into something meaningful and deposit that into your account that outlives you, the people who come after you will now have the tools and the trails that you leave. We do have a question, right? The question is no longer whether you can be remembered. The question is whether what you leave behind will be worth finding. We'll see you in the next episode. Hope this helped.